So we got over here, we got the cartographer, we got soundscapes, we got the encyclopedia, we got scenario, and we got the content library. This version that I'm playing is just the regular version. There is a beta version that is ongoing, and there's tons of changes, and it looks quite a bit different than this. This is the toolkit that I've been using mostly, so I kind of know it a little bit better. There's probably a ton more people out there that know how to use it way better than I do. But let's dig in. Let's start to learn, and we'll all learn together. So as you can see, I have a lot of maps already made, completed. I have a whole folder here. You can make folders for all of your maps and such in here. You can use keywords for your favorited maps, so it's easier to find. I will open just the generic one, I think, right now. So what it does is it loads in all of the pieces that are used in your maps. So this is a generic type map. I'm going to go to my grid settings. I'm going to just bump down the transparency a little bit. It is a 5-foot squares right now. There possibly will be updates to make the squares either a little bit bigger, or maybe they won't go that way. I guess we'll have to see. Yeah, so this is one of the maps. I haven't used this map before, but it is one of the maps that does come with ArkenForge. And I'll probably show you the website and the location later. And I should write it down in the descriptions. It will definitely be on my YouTube channel, so you can check it out for yourselves. We have a radial menu here. As you can see, the radial menu will allow you to size different things, go from layers. So there's actually top layers, as well as you can make bottom layers if you want. So if you have like this area here, it's the chapel, but maybe there's a secret entrance in the chapel, and you just want to have a level down below, you can absolutely do that. If you go over here to the side, and if you -1, you are actually below the chapel right now. So very easy to do, and you can literally start building below that chapel right now, which is a lot of fun. You can also have object manipulation. This one I tend to use quite often. If you pick an object, I'm going to zoom in so you can see what we're looking at here. You can actually change the object's opacity. So you can totally make it invisible. So all that's left is a shadow, because shadows are on for this item. You can change the saturation of this, so you can kind of change the hues and colors, and just saturation really of a particular color. You can bright this and dim it to nothing. You can revert your changes, so all the changes that I just did are back to normal. You can save your object as a preset. So if you have an object that you use a lot, that you have made, you can go in, you can save it as a preset, and then you can load it up into your environments as many times as you want. You can even resize them too. There is mirror options as well. So let's click on this guy for a mirror option. You click on the mirror option here, and you can flip it that way, and you flip it that way back, and you flip it this way, and you flip it that way. So, yeah. And then flip it back. A little tricky to see that one, I think. So you can click on this guy, mirror, and that, well, okay, that's like left and right, and that's like front to back. Depending on how you lay down your items and objects, that's exactly what will happen for that. That's what the mirroring does. So let's say we want to, put a fire in this fireplace over here. So we can go to our objects list. We can type in the search bar that I want fire. You can go to all content, just images, just animated images. If you have video clips that you've downloaded into your content, and grouped only objects. So if you've grouped a bunch of things together, you can do that. We'll probably get into that later. So what I'm going to do is grab all content right now. And there is many different options on the bottom of the screen here. Many different options now. I have all the expansion packs, nearly. I think I'm missing like one or two. But this is what you will find. There's even like Christmas decorations on the fireplace here too. So let's pick a fire. Probably go here. We'll get an animated fire. So that little movie thingy has animation on it. So you can grab that and you can pop it down. Boop. And right clicking will make it disappear, because otherwise you just keep painting the whole world with fire. It'll load up. There we are. I am going to manipulate the size of this. So you hold it down and you move your thing. So I'm just going to make it a little small like that. And then you can still move it while it's selected, just like that. All right. Now let's say we want to add some light to this. This is why I was looking towards the light object. So you want to toggle your light object. So this is going to radiate some light. As you saw, the screen kind of got a little bit brighter. In fact, I can show you, if you change your time of day, so it's nighttime, you can see that the light is on and the light is off. And the light is on and the light is off. So now that it has light, you can actually control the radius of the light as well, which 4.444 infinite is the average. You can dumb it down to 2, so it's just kind of like a small crackle. You can dumb it up to like pretty much any amount. Let's do 20 for now. So 20 is pretty bright. As you can see, it illuminates basically the entire room. There we are. Sorry, mouse is loud. So you can see it just illuminates this entire room like it was daytime, like you had it on at daytime. And you'll notice that it kind of peeking through. There's no barrier on this, but there is a light barrier built into all the walls and such in ArkenForge, which will stop the light from traveling through. So we have a light source in here. And then if we click on the light source and we start moving that light source, as you can see, the light source is moving. Now, if I go outside will light up like it's daytime. And you can see all the light sources kind of mingle and play with itself. So there you go. So you can put that in there. You can even add many types of different effects to it as well. You can rotate it if you wanted to rotate that particular object. Rotating fire, sure. There you go. You rotate your fire. You can make it invisible from players. So if you make it invisible from players, it still has all the settings and everything that you already have, but the players can't see it. Like there's nothing there. And you can unhide it when the players either walk into the room or it's a trap and they haven't seen it. Maybe they rolled, obviously this is fire, but if they rolled and there was a trap there and they see it, they found it, then you can unhide it, right? Just like that. Which there was an update for traps too, so I can show you traps. Or is it just trap? Got to be very specific on your looks. So if you remember how you name all your stuff, then yeah, it'll be easier to find. So maybe I'll just pop that in here. Oh my gosh, that's big. It's a hallway, obviously. So I'm just gonna shrink it down because reasons. As you can see, the red lines around it. That red line and that red line are light barriers. You can put them on any of your items yourself, and it will stop the light. Anything. Like if you wanted to put it on this tree stump because it's a lot taller than maybe the light source that's around it, you could totally put a light or a light barrier, yeah, on that tree stump, and it will just completely stop the light. it's pretty fantastic what you can do with this toolkit. This is my favorite toolkit so far. It has been a joy to play with, to make maps, and be online on the ArkenForge Discord and asking questions and asking what kind of improvements are coming. Also suggesting some improvements, and they've been more than generous with getting back to me and listening to what I have to say. So thanks, ArkenForge team. Appreciate it. So it sounds a little quiet there, so maybe I should put some music on if I can. So there's some music in the background. You can listen to that while I'm going through this. I should have fantasy music going on, but with all that DMCA stuff, with all the rights strikes and stuff like that, I'll just use free music from Harris Heller. He builds stuff for streamers and stuff too. I'll have his information in the descriptions below as well on the YouTube channel. He makes some pretty nice stuff. So, all right. So, anyways, as I was getting to, my apologies. So, I'm going to select that. I held down the shift and I selected, left-clicked it. That will select just that item that I have. If I select individually, you can see it's kind of going off into my other sections. If you don't want those sections being selected, you can lock them. So let's say this guy here. If you want to lock that tile, now you can't click on that tile. You cannot get that unless you hold down your shift key and you click on it. Now it is still locked, but you can't move it by accident. So if you're moving like people's tokens and stuff, then it doesn't get moved. Sorry, getting off topic. So yes, I'm going to shift click that. It just selects that for us because it is locked together. It is grouped, but you can turn it invisible to your players. Or did I not turn that invisible to my players? Oh, hide from players. Sorry, it was already hidden from players. Pardon me. And then you can unhide it so it would appear for the players. Exactly. And you can delete it by just hitting the delete key, and there it goes. It's all gone. Done. Done, done, done. I'm going to make sure that that music is not too loud. Hopefully it's not. Nope, looks good. Okay. This is just basic map making. If, another new feature that they added, if, like I did just now, hold down the Alt key, it'll tell you where to find a lot of the items that are already pre-made in these maps. So the cobblestone number 4 is from the Essentials pack in ArkenForge. The chest metal is in the Essentials pack in ArkenForge. This should all be Essentials here, if I recall. The berry bush is an Essentials pack. So it kind of tells you the names and everything of what it is, where to find it, and especially if you're doing the search, you'll be able to find it better and a lot easier. It's like, boy, I really want to use that bench 1. So if you go here to bench 1, it'll pop up with bench 1. It'll be your first selection. The other bench name will also pop up as well. Maybe bench 1 was nice, but maybe bench 13 would be better. So you pop down to bench 13 there. Right-clicking anywhere on the map and holding will scroll the map for you. Mouse wheel will bring you out or in. Also, doing that. So it's kind of crazy. So, yeah, what else do I have? So like I said, so that's the locking the tiles. You can rotate stuff. You can hide stuff from players. Locking your tiles is really good. I don't know how many times I moved a path by accident because I hit the path instead of the token I was supposed to be grabbing. Too many times. All right, so this one, the contextual options. So this one, you can scale your tiles, which is great. I think that's new. I don't remember that being there before. You can group your selected items, and you can rotate your tile images. I think that is new. Guys, is that new? Because you can make up your entire floor out of tiles. So as you can see, they're like 5x5 squares, or yeah, 5x5 squares here. Or 1x1 squares, 5x5 feet each. And I can't select individually on this just because it was laid down as one group of floors. Like, for example, let's go back here. Let's look up floors. So as you can see, if I do that, you can also do this in single lines. So now I'm going to turn up the brightness. Sorry about that. So now you can see that it is all one line of that texture, mossy stone. You can also tile placement. So this one, I tend to use this one a lot, obviously, because you can do this. Right? Making big blocks, as big as you want. There's actually a very large map that I made, which is just massive. I'd show you, but it takes like 10 minutes to load because it's so large. I made Golden Fields out in the Forgotten Realms as part of one of the campaigns that we were running, so made it very large, actually. And you can have marble, if you have like just marble flooring somewhere inside of a church or building or whichever. There's ruins, there's all kind of ruin tiles here. Wood flooring, lots of different types and styles of wood flooring you can have for it too. Wooden floor Hobbit. Well, I've never been to the Hobbit house, so I can only assume that that's correct. All right. So let's show you what else this thing can do, because it's actually quite a bit. You can actually see that I have selected like the entire map. I think it will only grow, yeah. So they didn't lock the grass on this, which is, I mean, fine. So it'll be like that. And you can actually make your entire grass much bigger. You can draw in like new roads and stuff for it. Oh, that's roof. Roof looks like roads. You got cobblestones that you can use. As you can see here, they've already kind of done a little bit of that. This is actually, I believe, an upgrade since this was done. But you can do that. That's pretty small, right? So let's Control Z that, just like you would in any kind of other programs. Let's increase the size or the repeatable width of that. And we can do that. That's pretty big. Let's do something like this, maybe. There you are. So not too bad. I think the scatter on this is a little too big for what we're looking for here. So maybe I can go to this guy. Kind of do the same thing here. There you go. And there's some path. And you can also like shade it, color it, put an opacity on top of it. Like maybe I'll just show you. One of the maps that I have, I can go to the map browser here and pull up my map thing again. I'll go to my Storm Kings, and I will go to Kelvin's Comfort. And it'll load up the map piece by piece again for us. So some of my maps have been rushed, to say the least. We tend to play on Saturdays. Obviously, with COVID, it's been really tough due to the fact that, hey, you know, you can't visit somebody else's house. So we went to Discord and really started using my ArkenForge because I've had it for a while and been waiting for it to, you know, kind of finish cooking before I got into it some more. But it's so helpful right now, especially when we're apart, to do our maps and stuff this way. Yeah, so I'm gonna just change the lighting here for you so you can see. I even tilted like the entire map on this one because you can rotate map. So even though everything is like squares, I can rotate the entire thing, so it just gives it a little bit more shape, life to it, because not everything obviously is like straight corridors and X's and stuff. It makes it super easy when you're building things, of course, with, you know, right angles and all that, but when you're actually in the real life or simulated real life, there is no continuity to the way things are laid out. I mean, you live in the cities, you know how certain roads go one way and don't seem to go another way. Very odd. Okay, so this is perfect example here. So I added some, as you can see, I added a little bit of snow here, a little bit of snow on here, kind of made it cover the pathway a little bit. And then I put on top of it, I just put a little white, like a mat, I guess you'd say, over top of it. I think it's this one. So I can hide. No, it's not that one. Sorry. It's really hard to see. No, it's not that one either. I might have locked it. Might have locked it. No, I guess not. Is it this? Oh, no. See, that's the entire path I am moving. As you can see it moving underneath everything. So let's try this one. There we are. Okay. So I just, and you can even see, as I'm pointing and you can't see me point, you can even see just the little bits of lines and stuff that were there. Maybe like shovel tracks or shovel marks and stuff like that. But yeah, you see it changing color because there's a light source there, a yellow light source on the white. So there you go. And I stuck it underneath this part of the road. So it just blends in a little bit better. There's so many better people at blending than I am, for sure. Before the winter expansion pack got some new features and stuff to it, I kind of made these little snowy footprints here and individually put them in, and as the person's like walking in, making them kind of disappear. But I mean, they kind of look like footprints, I think. I added some here at the back as well. I also, this particular place is a pre-built tavern, which, I mean, they have a whole bunch in the cities and buildings part of it, which, cartographer, not cartographer. Where's the best place to show you that? Soundscape? Yes, okay. Oh, right. Okay, so this is, sorry, I'm hopping. So this is Soundscape. You can actually link your Sirenscape, which is all your D&D music and sound effects and stuff like that, to ArkenForge, which is fantastic. You can link it, they'll give you a key, and you can just pop it into the options. Dungeons Deep is an add-on, which I bought. Essentials comes with the main base program. Halloween was an extra. Ice and Snow was an extra. The Wilds is an extra. And Towns and Cities is an extra. But Towns and Cities have saved me so much time in making maps. It's very, very, very welcome. As I will show you quickly here. If you go to Modular, these are all the modular pieces that have already been pre-built for you, which is fantastic. So if you wanted, I don't know. What do you think, chat? I only got a person in chat. Let's go to town furnished. So town furnished. I'm gonna move it out here just so it's not on my board. So I'm gonna town furnish. Oh, autosave. Autosave does pop up. You can set the duration of autosave if I recall. The thing is, with autosave, it'll help you. Right click this so it loads faster. It'll help you obviously not lose your information, but make sure that when you're restarting the program, that you find, like, I don't know how to explain it. The autosave, sometimes I find it only works if you actually go in and hit save, which is under your settings. You go in and you save your map, or save as new. So if I wanted to just add this, but this isn't what I wanted, I could save as new. Yeah, autosave is weird right now. Okay, so I popped down the church. As you can see, this is the church. And of course it's angled because of my map. If I don't want that, hold down the shift, draw a box around it because it came in as all together. You can rotate it. If you notice though, my flooring does not rotate with. So you can move it this way, you can move it that way. It kind of chugs on my PC, which I don't understand why. But anyways, there we go. So let's say we just moved it that way. This is like the front door over here. There's the whole chapel, the raised dais, and yeah, or the altar, if you want to say. And there's a, look at that, there's even a shift again. Oh, no. You're not going to let me click. No, you're not. No, because it's all grouped. Everything in here is grouped. Because when they make it, they group it all together, so it'll be easy just to kind of plant it down, move it to where you want it, and then if you want to make changes, you can go to your contextual options, and you can go to ungroup. So now that everything is ungrouped, I can select everything individually, which is amazing, right? Like, they took all this time to make all this stuff for us, and then we can still tweak it and play with it and just all kinds of things. It's really great. So even at this point here, we can go down here, and right at this point is the thing. So cute little trick here. It's like, okay, so that is where that is. Let's say I want to get some stairs, but I want it to be exactly down below here. So I'll go to like stairs. I think there's stairs right now. Yeah, more or less. So let's say there's this. Let's say I want this as my stair. I'm gonna pop that down. I'm gonna rotate it just so it kind of matches up, right? So right there. Right there, looks good. Okay. Now I'm gonna say, hey, obviously this isn't on the right floor. So I want to move this down one level. And there we go. So I just moved that whole thing down one level. So when I go up to 0, boop, technically it's right there. Go down to -1, there it is. Now with these buildings that they've made, they've also added different floors, roofs, all that kind of stuff. So this one's got a roof on the first level, second level. So it's on the second level and it has a roof. So it's really one room. Obviously we just made a little dungeon or a cellar.